Well, they invested their life savings with men who promised big returns, and then one day they discovered their money was all gone. If this sounds familiar, it should. Although the cases of Bernard Madoff and Richard Piccoli are making headlines, 13 WAM's Rachel Barnhart says a group of local investors knows how it feels to lose your faith in an investment firm and your money.
Bud Taylor knows what it's like to be the victim of financial fraud. There are some similarities between what happened to him a couple years ago and the investors of Bernard Madoff.
What went through my mind is we're in the same boat as those people there.
Taylor is one of 275 people, most of them Rochester area senior citizens, who invested with these two men, Ted Tackaberry and Mark Palazzo. A judge ruled their firm, Pittsford Capital, engaged in a Ponzi-like real estate scheme, resulting in a $15 million loss.
Yeah, I lost through Pittsford Capital about $135,000, which was roughly half of my money that I had set aside for retirement.
I mean, what do you do?
You work now.
The Kodak retiree worked at Home Depot for a year and a half. He has bitter memories of getting letters from Pittsford Capital telling him about big returns on his investment. Taylor has advice for others.
Go to the place and ask to see what is currently happening to your money.
The Pittsford Capital investors are in line to get back a tiny portion of their funds. A receiver managed to find $700,000. Bud Taylor would get around $1,400.
Right now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to save up to pay my taxes, and I'm saying, well, if this came through, at least I have this year covered.
And Pittsford Capital investors are supposed to get about 5.5% of their money back. However, one of the investors did file a challenge to the distribution, and the judge has yet to rule on that. So 2.5 years later, investors are still waiting.
And this gets very confusing. I've had emails from people recently asking about this. Ted Tackaberry, Mark Palazzo, never charged with any of this, right?
No, and that's something that bothers a lot of the investors, but prosecutors declined to criminally charge these two men, and the case should be wrapping up very soon.
All right. Thank you, Rachel.